Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel, and welcome back to a little bit of good news, a little bit of happy news, and a little bit of a good evening. Obviously, Spurs winning this evening 3-0 at home to Elfsborg. We'll be talking about the game. We'll talk about there's quite a few really lovely positives to talk about in this game. So I don't often get to say it, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to make the most of it. Subscribe if you're new. You're welcome to join us for the journey because we don't get set because we never seem to win. Look, tonight was one of those games where I was listening to Ben Davies after the game and he was talking about it. Said this could have been a banana skin. This could have been a game where you could have easily slipped up. And I think that's probably the nicest way that you could sum it up. This is a game where you should be winning. You should win comfortably, but you just never know. European football is just a weird world, is it not? You know, things can happen. It's like the FA Cup. Things can happen that you just do not expect it. I've got to do my evenings. Evening XL, Spurs, Eric, Sticks, Joshua, Steampunk, Jazz, Dean, Hogan. How are we all? It's not. I unfortunately, Gibbo, brush my teeth, so I can't have a squash. But for everyone else, get your squash in. Get your squash in. Look, do you know what? Like I said, it was a banana skin game. It was a banana skin game and a game where first half, you know, I listening to Sam Matterface be, you know, really boring. I had to mute him for quite a bit of the second half because I was really fed up with what I was hearing from him. The first half, you know, we really probably didn't create as much as we wanted to. Son looked very good, you know, dangerous, beating his man. Mikey obviously had quite a good chance, and there was a few headers here and there, but it wasn't mental. We didn't really create the opportunities that we wanted to create, right? Obviously, second half. Let me bring up my timeline. Here we go. Let me get back down to second. So second half starts. Bentancur goes off. Mickey van der Ven goes off, and Son goes off. Which, by the way, Mickey van der Ven really is a Rolls Royce, is he not? What a Rolls Royce Mickey van der Ven is, and it was so good to see Mickey back. You know, it's not just Mickey's pace that we miss. Obviously, it's a massive part of his game, but his comfort on the ball, his calmness on the ball, you know, every time a ball would go in behind the fullback, it was like, go on, run at him then. And a couple of times they sort of looked and went, oh, no, I'm not running there. No, I'm not. I'm turning back the other way and I'm going somewhere else, you know. And so it was good to see Mickey back. Obviously, I thought Bentancur had a good game. But again, I think with the substitution, it was more so looking ahead towards the Brentford, towards the Liverpool, towards the Villa, all in the next sort of 10 days. 10 days? What am I on about? Yeah, no, it is 10 days. Sorry, it is 10 days. Kevin, Elton, how are we? DJ, my friend, how are we? MGS, Indiana, Johnny, Jazz, how are we all? Ray as well, legend. Look, so all in all, you know, obviously the guys coming off at halftime and no issues with them coming off, you know, listening to the commentators, and you can really tell that they do not have a finger on the pulse at times, because it was like, what? Son's coming off, that's a weird one. It was like Son's played an obscene amount of football. He's probably on a minutes count for today's game. They probably said before the start of the game, halftime, he's coming off. And they stuck to their guns, and they did the right thing bringing him off. He should be somewhat fresh for the weekend. He won't be very fresh. Obviously, it's a guy that's played a lot of football recently, but he should be somewhat fresh for the weekends. It would have been nice to get Richie a bit more rest today. He's had to play 18 minutes. But again, it's 18 minutes into a guy who's not played a ton of football this year. So I don't really mind that as such. But yeah, I thought the guys that then came on, Dejan Kulusevski, Radu Dragic and Bissouma. I mean, Biss looked good, looked like he was controlling the tempo a little bit. Dejan obviously creating a lot of chances. I'll come to Radu in a minute. Obviously, Dane Scarlett then gets subs on for Radu Dragic. Really, 20 minutes later, we'll talk about Radu in a bit of detail, like I said, in just a second. And then Ajayi comes on for Richarlison in the 81st minute. And at that point, Dane Scarlett, debut goal for Spurs. Really happy for Dane. You know, obviously having that loan spell at Oxford, coming back. And I was like, look, he's going to get sent back out on loan, because if he features one time for us, he has to stay here for the rest of this season. He then was brought on. And I was a bit like, Well, that means Lancashire's done. That means Lancashire's out on loan for the rest of the season. We're not carrying two guys like that, you know. So he's going on loan, and then it was like, oh, then he scores, and it was. Do you know what, the ball in from Kulusevski is a fantastic ball in, and the header's brilliant as well. Just absolutely buzzing for him. You know, the crowd, you could tell, was so happy for him. Yeah, it was just all in all brilliant. I don't know what you guys think. It was just really, really good. Tarzan, how are we? Thoughts on Lancashire going out on loan. Dragon, how are we? Donovan super chat. When Ajayi, Moore, and Scarlett were young, oh, Jesus Christ. Proud mama. There you go. Fair enough, Donna. Let's survive Liverpool. I think we can at least win one trophy with our first team come back to fitness. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that because we have to talk about the knockout stages now. Do you think we ever sign him Sunday? Well, I'm not sure about Tell. I'm not sure. I saw something saying that he's still holding out for Man United. That's all right, Ray. That's all right. Fair enough, Don. I appreciate for another super chat. Absolute legend. Hope another youngster comes Spurs and Tell. Look, and Warren, how are you, Warren? Look, so coming back to it, Radu Dragic, let's talk about that injury. Obviously, ball sort of rolling out into touch, and he sort of goes to kick it, and as he plants the foot back down that he's kicked with, he's bounced straight back up off of it, and he's kind of he's holding his knee, and he goes down, and I really don't know what he's done. Now, the thing is, he could run on it. He couldn't. It wasn't a comfortable run, but he could run on it, and he did jump up and down on it a few times. So it's not going to be, you know, an ACL injury. Well, it shouldn't be. If he could do that on an ACL injury, then fair bloody play. I couldn't walk when I did mine, so if he can jump up and down and run on it, he is a machine. But it won't be that. I think it could be a jarred knee. It wouldn't shock me if it was a jarred knee. So we'll have a see about that. But we'll sort of go from there on that side of things. So hopefully he's okay. That was the only real negative of this evening, was the Dragic injury. Anyway, coming on past that, and obviously Richarlison going off for Ajayi. Ajayi scores all of 3 minutes later. It's a lovely, lovely bit of play. There's 1-2s with Scarlett, and he's sort of, it's about 20 yards out. He's left-footed, obviously, if you don't know. He's cutting on off right. 1-2 of Scarlett, sort of delays. And he just sort of, he doesn't really get the greatest connections, but it looked like he more so placed it into the bottom corner, the near bottom corner. And you could tell he was absolutely buzzing. And fair play to him. I'm so happy for him as well. You know, there's something about watching an academy player score that just fills you with happiness. You're happy for them as a person. You're happy if Son scores a goal or if Romero scores a goal. There's something about an academy trained player that he's young and he's working hard and he wants to be, you know, a professional footballer. He wants to play week in, week out for Tottenham, and they score. And he scored in his debut. He scored 3 minutes into his debut, which I'm so happy for Ajayi. You know, you've got to just, you know, you've got to take your hats off to him. So really happy with that. Jacob, how are we? Right Heart Lane, how are we? Hawkeye Luke, how are we all? Look, so obviously then 2-0, game's done. They make a few substitutions. They kind of go for it. And then lo and behold, 3-0, Mikey Moore. And when you look at the front three at the end of the game, it's Mikey Moore, it's Scarlett, and it's Ajayi. And all three score. And, you know, Moore's goal, you know, he beats a couple of defenders, commits them all. Cross goal, low driven, 3-0. Bosh. Lovely jubbly. Really good day at the office in terms of those three getting the goals. I mean, Spurs, if you weren't watching the game, Spurs were under no pressure all game. We had 82% possession. We had 21 shots, 11 on target. We had 10 corners. I mean, Elfsborg had 4 shots, none on target, no corners. So it was one of those games where it was a matter of when, not if, we were going to score, in my opinion. Even with us barely getting out of second gear, it was when, not if, we were scoring. And once we scored one, genuinely, I thought, right, we're scoring 2 or 3 here. So, you know, obviously, great news, and I'm buzzing for it, and I'm buzzing for those youngsters. Now, obviously, we look ahead. We actually just have a quick look. Oh, Elfsborg just missed out. They just missed out on being in the 24 on goal difference. They were actually joint 22nd. Oh, you hate to see it. I feel for him. I do feel for him. Frank Varosh made it though into the next round. Someone that we played. Who's going to be out? So Karabag, Nice, Dynamo Kiev, Ludogorets, RFS, Malmo, Slavia Prague, Tel Aviv, Besiktas, Hoffenheim, Elfsborg, and Braga. Besiktas being out is a bit of a shocker. So the automatic teams through are Lazio, Bilbao, Man United, Tottenham, Frankfurt, Lyon, Olympiacos, and Rangers. Rangers just sneaking right at the end. So there you go. There's your teams that are through. Obviously, into the next round, we'll sort of see what happens there. Obviously, teams have got to play off from one another. Now, I'm pretty sure. I just want to bring up the Champions League fixtures because is it February the 18th week they're playing? Bring up my calendar. I think it's February 12th they're playing. I think it's when they have their playoffs. So I'd assume if that's the case, then the Europa League might be the 13th of February. Might be. I'm not too sure just yet. We'll have more of an understanding, I think, soon. I'll go on Twitter. Normally, Romano's really on this moment. This is a great stat. Opta Joe has just come out and said that Mikey Moore has become the youngest Englishman to score a major European goal at the age of 17 years and 172 days, breaking a record held by Jimmy Greaves in 1957 when he was 17 years and 245 days. My goodness, what a stat that is. Amazing. Fair play to the young boy. Fair play to him. Moore's definitely a left winger, not a right winger. Never in doubt. We should play three at the back again. Well, we played Sarr at left back, but he was inverted the whole time, wasn't he? So it looked like back three, but it was still a back four. So look, really good stuff out of today. I would say that now, yes, Will Lancashire probably goes out on loan for the rest of this season, which I don't think hurts him. I think it probably helps him. So I wanted to go see Romano because he's not tweeted about it or anything like that. He did about the Champions League. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, Spurs don't have to play now a playoff game. And that's the big thing about this for me. Obviously, with the season that we've had so far this season, yes, the Premier League hasn't gone well. Got it. EFL Cup has gone well. FA Cup is going well because you're still in it. The task number one that we needed to make was, hey, you've got to get through the knockouts. So you've got to get through the Europa League through the knockouts. Doesn't matter if you finish first or you finish eighth. It's about finishing within that pocket. I think we were fourth or something like that, right? Okay. Tick. You're done. You're through. Right? Brilliant. You've done what you needed to do. Was it comfortable at times? No. Could it have been easier? Yes. But it doesn't matter. You're through. That's the important thing. We've seen some youngsters come through this as well, and that's the beauty of what cup competitions I think can give you. And I think we unfortunately didn't see it last year, but we have this year. We've seen more of those youngsters. We've seen more of what we have coming through the academy, which the academy hasn't been great for a few years, and it looks like we've had a bit of a turnaround, which is brilliant. So look, really great news. Obviously, we look forward to now Brentford. 2 p.m. UK time on Friday. Obviously, we will do the preview for Brentford actually tomorrow. So do make sure you've got your bell notifications on because you'll know when I'm going live. We were doing the Brentford preview for that game as well because, Basuma's back, Sarr's back. Richie's obviously healthy. He played through, got good minutes. Ben Davies is still rocking around. And Spence, you would hope we'd be back for the weekend. Romero, let's see. Mickey got some good minutes today, which is great for us and great for the future. Who else am I thinking of? Obviously, Madison will be out. Johnson will be out. Can't remember who else I'm thinking of. There's someone else that I was thinking of. Oh, Destiny and Odebear are still a few weeks away. So you're still potentially getting an extra one back this weekend. Now, obviously, Radu being out, that is a dampener on this evening. Obviously, Archie's been fun. I need to come back to this. Archie Gray, honestly, is going to be an absolute world-class player. I cannot talk highly of him enough. I talk about him every single time we do a review or preview. And I'll keep doing it because he is an absolute bloody great player. He is going to be an absolute rock star. And I will continue to say that every single time. He is going to be so good. And the fact that we already think he's so good, whilst he's not even played his own position. He played left back at the weekend. He's played right centre back today. He played left centre back today. He then goes back to right centre back. He moved just in today's game alone 3 times. Never a fuss, never a bother, and he looked incredible all across it all. And we've got an absolute rock star on our hands there, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that. Obviously, Bergvall looked really good again today, and it's another one of those where with Bergvall looking as good as he has, a couple of brilliant, really great youngsters there. And it's sometimes not all about the money that you spend; it's about how you spend it. And Spurs could learn that in a good way, and not in the cheap way. More adventurous, or even in my sides, how are you? Will there be a deadline day live stream? Well, there'll be at least one point, Gibbo, yeah. In February, all still in all cup competition. When did we last do that? God, I couldn't tell you. I'm beating the 17 European matches. The kids say my bacon. Now I don't want to move abroad in embarrassment. Callum Roach with the super chat. Summer fruit squashes on me. Attaboy. It's wish I hadn't brushed my teeth. I'm really annoyed. I brushed my teeth thinking, I probably won't go live tonight. This guy's a jackass. I'm going to have midweek syndrome, not seeing Spurs play midweek. It's going to be weird, Jazz. I actually think I like watching Spurs play, but part of me now goes, let's be smart here. They need a rest, and my mental health could do with having a rest. We need to win the Europa League to give us the best chance to win the Europa Cup. Gray's a superstar. Absolute superstar. Ange with the kids outstanding. Hopefully Andy will tell us. Oh, Jazz, Jesus. The kids do what Johnson do. Let's not put other people down, Thomas. Come on, mate. It's a good vibe. Let's not put those players down to prop others up. Callum Roach, the membership club. Absolute. Callum, if you're not, by the way, there's 90 of you in here. I can tell you a great story. Okay. You want to talk about OGs. You want to talk about OG-like legends. And you just want to talk legends, right? There's a tier above that. You got to be here for at least a couple of years. If you get above there, that's where you find Callum Roach. Not many people around with him up there, but he's up there. Absolute legend. He's been around here for so long. So Callum's a bloody legend. And that's why people go, hey, where's Callum been? And I'm like, hey, it's all right. He's still here. He's still here. Don't worry about it. That's why people always ask me. They go, where is he? I haven't seen him in a little while. I go, he's still here. He's still here. All right. Because he's the legend, all right? When Callum comes in with the vibes are good. Still unopened, that squash. Hey, it's downstairs. The squash is downstairs, all right? This one is for emergencies. And there's no emergencies here. It's only vibes. 3-0, looked like absolute world beaters last 20 minutes. The kids fear. Just go for the kids the rest of the season. No. I followed you the first day you posted. You Right Hot Lane is also one of those. He's been here. He's part. What we'd call Right Hot Lane is furniture. He's just part of the furniture. And if I had something here, that's where you'd find him. Appreciate it, Cam, though. A backup squash. It's a prop. God damn it, it's not a prop. It's an emergency. That if I was to run out, there's a thumbs up. You have a thumbs up. You enjoy it. If it was to run out, I know it's got it here because I've got 2 bottles downstairs. No running out on my watch. Spurs considering to cut the Leeds line. That's not surprising. Something they've talked about previous. We'll wait and see what happens tomorrow on that. But yeah, just last thing I'll finish off. Alistair Gold tweeted that you'd presume that frees up Will Lancashire to head out on loan in the next few days, which I think he will. Not sure where he'd go. Oh, here we go. He's actually said something else. Apparently, Burnley, Borough, West Brom, Cardiff, and Luton are all interested in him. Yeah. He says, understand that Will Lancashire is set to head out on loan now. Burnley, Middlesbrough, West Brom, Cardiff, and Luton are among those interested. Clubs abroad also interested, but Spurs keen to get him playing in the Championship. There you go. There you go. Lancashire is going to be heading out on loan. So that I don't think that shocks me, if I'm honest. I think that's probably about right. I mean, let's quickly have a quick look at those teams. So let's look at the Championship table to give you an idea about who's going to be wanting him. So Burnley are third in the Championship table at the moment. They're not massive goal scorers. They've conceded 9 goals in 29 games, by the way. That's bonkers. They've drawn 12, won 15, lost 2. So Burnley are third. Next team is Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are 6th. They're in the last playoff spot. Okay, interesting. They've been linked to him previously as well. West Brom are actually in the playoffs as well. They're 5th. They're a place above Middlesbrough on goal difference. So you're talking about 3rd, 5th, and 6th. So 3 teams in the playoff spots all are interested in him on loan. You then have Cardiff, who are 18th. They are 4 points ahead of relegation zone, and Luton Town are in the relegation zone. They are 3 points from safety. So look, I mean, you'd think it's going to be one of the playoff spots if they're going to guarantee him the game time. But, really great news. Blackcurrant squash, not a bad shout. Not one of my favourites, but not a bad shout. Do you think our board's smart enough to work that out? Squash is aged downstairs in the squash cellar. I need to get a squash cellar. I've done it now. I need to get a squash cellar and let it mature. Oh, we're actually going to be drinking the 3-year-old summer fruit squash. It's a very great delicacy from Tuscany. 3 Musketeers, absolutely. Hey, Polly, how are you? Got a Luton. Mid-table team be best for game time. Well, you'd think Cardiff then. You'd think Cardiff. That's the closest to mid-table in theory. Because the other 3 are playoff spots, they're but then again, it's nice to play for a team that's fighting for something. And the other 2 teams are fighting for relegation. The other 3 are fighting for Premier League promotion. So it really depends who's going to guarantee him the game time. That's really what it's going to come down to. Because if Luton are the only team that's going to guarantee him week in, week out football, he'll go to Luton. Because might as well play. There's no point you sitting on the bench just because there's a playoff run, Mikey, yeah, he is Joshua. Absolutely. Luton strikers are shocking. They play top. I'm pretty sure send them there. Well, Luton back to back. Yeah. We'll get Sociedad, Galatasaray. Mate, we'll have them all. Mate, I'll have Galatasaray again, actually. I will have them because we played them with injuries galore and 10 men, and we nearly beat them with 10 men. And if it's 2-legged affair, they're going to get dealt with at the Spurs Stadium. And I mean dealt with. So, welcome to hell. Do you remember that? Welcome to hell? Yeah, no, I love Galatasaray. Not an issue. They're not a very good team. They're not a very good team. I love it. Well, we'll see what happens with the next round. Well, actually, Galatasaray, I think, is signing Alvaro Morata, which is a bit of a weird one. I didn't see what TNT said though about possible next round opponents. No, they have said. AZ Alkmaar, Troy Parrott return, Galatasaray, Real Sociedad, or FC Midtjylland, Danish team. So there you go. There's the 4 teams. So Sociedad's the only one you'd probably want to stay away from. Like out and out, 100%. Sociedad's the one that I would want to stay away from. The others, they can get this work, not a problem. We can beat AZ Alkmaar, not an issue. Midtjylland, not a great team, and well, Galatasaray beat our B side, and we were down to 10 men. So yeah, not a problem. Not a problem for me. Ajayi was a revelation. Absolutely wants. We'll see about what Tell says. We'll see what he says. 2 we've already played. Absolutely 2 we've already played. So that's the thing. We know we've already played them. We've already beaten 1. The other one struggled to beat our backups and everything like that. Love that. Tottenham Hotspur Academy reposted the Tottenham Hotspur full-time graphic, and he went, cheers, admin's crying. Love that. I love that. Brilliant. Look, great result this evening. Obviously, tomorrow, Brentford preview. Be there. I'm looking at all of you. Be there. Obviously, also, by the way, join the Discords. We talk in there all the time. Gibbo gives me enough crap in there. He's like, oh, yeah, I've got a squash. And I'm like, wish I had one as well, mate. So, Gibbo, enjoy your squash, mate. You deserve it. You've earned it for today. Parrot scored today. Good to see. Good to see. Great day for Academy products all around. Join the Discord. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to speak the Brentford game. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.